Camp Ellis is a small neighborhood in Saco. It's right on the coast where the Saco River opens to the ocean. Historically, that area is prone to some of the worst flooding in the state during large storms and high tides. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on News Center Maine at 5:30. I'm Zach Blanchard. Chris Costa is off tonight. City of Saco leaders are looking to make changes to infrastructure in Camp Ellis to prevent further damage from more severe weather due to climate change. News Center Maine's Caroline LaCour reports.
Those familiar with the Camp Ellis neighborhood here in the city of Saco say you would not want to be driving on these roads during a coastal storm. But a new investment might be changing that rhetoric as city leaders look to build climate resilience.
Being at the mouth of the Saco River and coastal Atlantic Ocean, we see it's a very dynamic coastline we have here.
Saco Public Works Director Patrick Fox says flooding has been one of the side effects of an ever-changing tide level along the city's coast.
This area can take on a very different look during a nor'easter during the winter than it has in the summer.
Like this past January, when severe weather caused streets to flood. With only a few roads leading to Camp Ellis, Fox says that extra water can leave locals stranded.
And this was a great chance for us to improve infrastructure and not just replace it as is.
To build back better, Fox and his team are getting ready to replace road infrastructure along the corner of Ferry Road and Seaside Avenue.
So one of the main components of this project is we'll be replacing this large culvert that crosses the road here.
8% of the $1.35 million project will be paid for by the city. The rest will come from a $1.25 million grant through the Maine Department of Transportation.
When we put back the larger culvert, it will be wider, it'll be taller, it'll allow better water flow, but it'll also allow room for sidewalk and bike connections into our beach areas.
Maine Department of Transportation Chief Engineer Joyce Taylor says this is just one example of work being funded through the Maine Infrastructure Adaptation Fund. It was initiated earlier this year through Governor Janet Mills's plan to help communities rebuild infrastructure after storms.
We are awarding to 39 communities, and the total amount of money is $25.2 million.
This project will truly help combat the sea level rise that we're going to see over the next several decades.
Fox says this project is one of a handful queued up in the city's climate action plan as leaders look towards the future.
However, without the Maine Infrastructure Adaptation Fund, it would have been several years before this project could be implemented. But now we'll be able to move ahead with final design.
City leaders tell me they hope to get started on the project by this fall. In Saco, Caroline LaCour, News Center Maine.